Nobel Peace Prize laureate María Corina Machado has said that she still plans to return to Venezuela, and this is even after what she describes as the kidnapping of a close opposition ally just hours after his release from prison. Machado said Juan Pablo Guanipa, a former vice president of the National Assembly, was kidnapped in Caracas by armed men in civilian clothes after openly calling for democratic elections. He had been freed only a day earlier in a limited release of political prisoners.
Tienen terror.
Juan Pablo, what does he become now? What does Perkins become? Confined in his home. Symbols of the struggle. Far from intimidating us or silencing us, they give us more reasons to keep mobilizing. This does not affect my return in the slightest. Quite the contrary. I have made it clear that I have some tasks to complete before returning, and once we achieve those, I'll be back in Venezuela.
En referentes de lucha.
Authorities later confirmed Guanipa had been detained again, alleging he violated the terms of his release and would be placed under house arrest. Although no details were provided, his family said they have not been told where he is, and his son has demanded proof of life. Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello blamed the opposition for the incident, accusing politicians of stirring unrest and insisting Guanipa breached parole conditions. Now, these remarks have drawn condemnation from opposition leaders and human rights groups.
897 people have been released. 897. Nothing had happened. They were released. They were reunited with their families until the enlightened stupidity of some politicians who believed they could do whatever they wanted and throw the country into chaos by violating the very conditions under which they were being given their freedom.
Machado has said the kidnapping undermines promises to end decades of political repression and one-party rule.
Esta reacción de la tiranía.
Can't people in Venezuela who have been imprisoned speak? Can't they recount what they've lived through? Can't they describe the horror of what is happening in our country today? That's why I'm here today. We see internal resistance because it's a criminal, mafia-like structure that is in power in Venezuela, and Delcy Rodriguez is one of its most visible expressions.
Venezuela, aquellos que han estado en prisión.
During his brief time out of prison, Guanipa met relatives of political detainees and challenged authorities to respect the results of the disputed 2024 presidential election, calling for a new vote if those results are not honored. Guanipa was first arrested last year on charges including terrorism and money laundering. Accusations rights groups have been routinely used to silence critics of former President Nicolas Maduro. Well, his arrest comes as Venezuela's National Assembly delays a vote on a proposed amnesty law that could free political prisoners and offer legal protection to those involved in past detentions. The session has been pushed from today to Thursday with no confirmation. The bill will remain on agenda. The legislation is backed by interim President Delcy Rodriguez, who assumed power after Maduro was removed in a U.S. military operation earlier this year.
Amor.